When people, processes, applications, and data move as one, transformation accelerates. In today's session, discover how SAP Signavio, SAP LeanIX, and WalkMe, powered by GenAI, make excellence continuous and your business ready for what's next. Welcome, everyone, to today's live expert session, the first of 7 episodes. We're thrilled to have you join us as we dive into one of the most important topics in business today, mastering business transformation. I have the pleasure of having here with me Josèphe Blondaut and Matthew Love. Matthew is a product marketing expert at SAP LeanIX, based out of the Netherlands. With over a decade experience in connecting innovative technology to business value, you play a key role in shaping the go-to-market strategy and positioning of SAP's business transformation solutions, thriving at the intersection of product, marketing, and customer success. When not delivering world-class business solutions, he enjoys football, running, hiking, and traveling. Josèphe is a vice president of product marketing at SAP Signavio. She has a strong SAP BPM and process mining background with over 20 years of experience. She strongly believes processes are the core of everything a business does and define the fine line between success and failure. She is leading the SAP Signavio product marketing team since early 2025, ensuring successful connection between product and market. Outside of business, she's a local sustainability ambassador, loves hiking, traveling, and cooking. And now, without further ado, over to you, Josèphe.
Thanks so much, Tanya. Welcome, everyone, from my side, too. And it's really great to have you here today with us to start that SAP User Group Business Transformation Live series. So as mentioned already, we will have over the coming weeks a few sessions, actually to be specific 7 sessions that we are going to be hosting with different colleagues from the different areas. Today's keynote will be around transformation as a capability, how to build that transformation. But actually, as said, in the upcoming week, we will take you with a series through the most important topics around business transformation. 7 sessions to learn how to master transformation as a discipline, how to uncover insights with SAP Signavio process management and process mining, how to modernize and rationalize your application portfolio with SAP LeanIX, and drive digital adoption with WalkMe. And on top, we'll show you how these solutions work together to accelerate value-driven outcomes, improve goal achievement, and reduce your risk. Of course, we'll bring a little bit of AI innovation, future-proofing your journey to continuous transformation. So if you have not done already, please make sure to register to become a master of business transformation. Let's get started. So talking transformation and excellence. Well, actually, most of our organization already heavily digitized. But actually, business transformation is not only that, it's different. It's about setting up a comprehensive and a deep rethinking of your operations, of your processes, of your technologies, your data, and your culture, so your people. And we all know, well, that's not an easy game. So why do companies choose to still do it? Well, so many challenges around, right? So you may like some internal processes. You want to improve your processes, improve your culture, look at the application. You want to break that growth ceiling to really gain on the market. So you would start projects for optimization and for optimization of processes and of the business model. You want to be adaptable. You want to be market driven. So you will work again on that operating model so that whatever disruption may come into your game, we know COVID, we know supply chain challenges, regulations, then you would be ready, because we all know by now that actually the most modern, adaptable, that's the key word, operating models always fare best. So you don't want to be caught off and you want to be ready for every disruption. The third thing is, of course, to be ready all the time is also you want to maintain your competitive advantage. You want to stay ahead of the curve. And for that, one important and key topic is that you make full use of the new technologies. I just need to say AI and you know what I mean. So this is disrupting the overall markets, the operation, and it's bringing new challenges, but also new opportunities to your organizations. And actually, no sign of the slowdown in spending on business transformation. We are talking trillions of dollars for 25, of course, which you want to invest wisely. But actually, despite access to more and to more powerful technology than ever, where we see that only 6% of those companies, of you and your peers, are future built. That's according to the Basque Consulting Group, which means these companies, or your company maybe, are not mature enough to manage and to drive that change consistently and continuously within your organization so that you can benefit from the disruptions. So what's holding some organizations, what's holding you back? Well, actually, we like to refer to it as a so-called transformation debt, which is depicting when your transformation journey or poorly executive initiatives are contributing to a transformation debt that creates a gap between the rate of the innovation on the outside and the value that you get for your organization on the inside. So depending on your role, you may think about the technological debt for the IT people amongst us, or maybe the financial, the business debt for the business people who know, well, what they are losing each and every day when not taking on innovation and transformation seriously. And actually, the bad thing about that debt, it grows, it compounds and grows over time as the pace of change is accelerated. And this has, of course, real consequences for the organization. And to try to better understand what it means actually and how it looks like in your organizations, we've conducted a survey with the Oxford Economics. We surveyed 800 executives from all over the world. And actually, it was pretty interesting because, well, we all know transformation are never easy, they're not quick, and they take time. But actually, we have even more insights in that we know right now that transformation, actually nearly half of those have not reached yet completion, 46%. And they often need much more money and budget than planned. It's 60% of the projects are exceeding budget projections. Actually, we see also that over 40% of the respondents say that the organizations seem not to invest in the right technology at the right time. And almost the same number also that they are actually not fast and not agile enough to implement on new technologies. The good thing, 2/3 believe that AI has a bigger impact, will have a big impact on business transformation, which we actually think is good. But the problem is that only 1/3 seem to have a real good, robust AI governance, AI operations and policies in place. So that's worrying. So of course, we don't want to leave you like this. And this is where our unique approach to business transformation can help you gain more value from business transformation. I'm going to handing over to my colleague, Matt Love, to take you through how this organization that recognize that transformation cannot be managed like this, but how these major organizations are building future-built organization. Over to you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Joseph. And I think really important that what we see in the research, and as Joseph mentioned before, there's a large number of organizations out there that are still managing transformation project by project. So what that means is they're seeing it as a series of projects that start and end and often interlap, share resources, and conflict in priorities. So managing transformation as a project, each time there is an initiative that lands on the business, is no longer an option. For organizations to succeed and become future built, they need to see transformation as a capability, one that gives you the capacity to drive persistent change and be proactive in the face of continuous disruption, whether that's internal, market, or technological. So this shift from project to capability is what we really believe unlocks the value potential of organizations. But how can organizations do this? How do they turn transformation from project, series of end-to-end daunting projects that hit every part of the organization, into an ongoing capability where they are set up to continuously navigate and be proactive in the face of change? we've got a bit of a formula behind this that we like to speak to. So to build this transformation capability, there are 4 key dimensions that need to work together. And as this video plays out, I'm going to give a bit of a voiceover on what this means. First of all, organizations need to start with their people first, because technology only delivers value when the people use it every day to its full potential. Those people need to be equipped with intelligent processes that enable the people to connect strategy to execution, to enable them to work in new and continuously adaptive ways. We then also need to understand the applications and capabilities that we have today and what we need in the future to maximize efficiency gains. And we need to build this all on a trusted and accessible foundation of data. From there, it's all about this motion and methodology you continuously employ. For example, discovering your current state across all dimensions, how your people are doing the work today, what technology is supporting them, and what data are they using and generating as they work. We need to be able to analyze where each of these artifacts are helping or hindering business goals. Then we look towards the target state, the future. Where do we want to go? And for this, we need to design that target state using benchmarks and best practices. And this is something that we bring unique from our business transformation management portfolio. Then we need to ensure that we're implementing our new systems, our new processes, our new capabilities with clear guidance and automation to ensure that they're not only implemented, but they're embraced by the people that need to use them every day. Once we're on this new level of operation, we have to continuously optimize using the contextual AI and intelligence that we have across this portfolio to spot gaps, to act on continuous insights, and to adapt faster. And with this approach, transformation becomes a continuous and empowered capability, powered by clarity, connectedness, and organizational-wide sync. But let's stop talking about this, right, Josèphe? I mean, anybody can talk about this. So let's rather see what this looks like in action. And what we're going to do is we're going to run through a really practical scenario using the solutions within our business transformation management portfolio. So with LeanIX, with Signavio, and with WalkMe, as well as other connected solutions like Cloud ALM. And how can we ensure that organizations moving to the cloud are able to do this with clarity, speed, and measurable value? So with that, I will hand back over to Josèphe, who will kick us off in our demo.
Thank you so much, Matt. And indeed, let's look at it instead of talking about it. So let me show you how it looks like. And like something you all know is with any transformation, when you start, what is the biggest challenge? Well, actually, it's figuring out where to start. So you got the complexity, you got legacy systems, people working around processes, and actually you have no clear signal of what to prioritize. So let's take a look at how to kickstart that discovery phase, actually. So your transformation office or your project team actually needs input to identify clearly those business challenges. And they may want to reuse existing documents, such as a financial report, to be able to uncover process-related improvement opportunities. So with AI-powered capabilities, such as the Transformation Advisor, we have our very first entry point into business performance analysis. We drop the financial report into the system to automatically analyze, share highlights, and bring us to concrete business transformation recommendations. So it seems we have challenges around procurement, more specifically around productivity improvement within the source-to-pay process. It seems it's from what you see on the screen, it's driving up costs, it's reducing spend control, creates disruption within the company. So let's take a deeper look at our business processes to understand what the underlying root causes and how to solve those challenges and have a clear place to start. So to be very efficient, we want to leverage really short time to insight. So we will ask Jules, which is our actual de facto personal assistant, to help us understand the current state. As we see, we just asked June to show us our current state of procurement processes. And instantly, even faster than I can talk, it shows us an icon preview of the latest procurement model that we have planned to follow on. That's our to-be process, actually. So we will click on preview here. And we will have a look at the SAP Signavio process model, a BPMN model, which is depicting how our procurement process works. So it still largely runs by SAP ECC. As you can see, it's always as a supporting, almost always as a supporting IT systems on the process steps. So this confirmed what we already suspected a bit, but that's not the whole story. So what we want to do right now, we want to have insights into our procurement operations, analyzing and mining the as-is situation. So what is the reality within our company? So here again, Jules is our personal assistant, and we can directly ask him, how can I mine my ECC procurement process? And directly we get an answer, and he mentions the value accelerator library and lists the relevant accelerators for our business case. And specifically, we see a quick start package to start mining for procure to pay in SAP. So we're going to use that value accelerator, which is kind of a ready to deploy data transformation template to jumpstart our project. And we're going to click on it. We are going to install the package, what we've done already, and connect our ECC data. And there the mining or the magic begins. Immediately, we get a lot of insights. You see that dashboard is pretty full, thanks to process mining. It will help us to understand the as-is execution of the source to pay process and monitor some specific KPIs. So we see here all the value, day payable, outstanding. We see delayed approvals, late payments, and inconsistent cycle times. So in addition to the process variant, the dashboard also consolidates some really key metrics for your business, like the conformance rate based on the to-be process, and also the automation rate. Speaking about it, as you can see, we seem to have that major problem here because we are far below the benchmark. So we want to take a look to understand that bad performance. So with the root cause analyzer, we have actually here the right tool to quickly identify these parameters that will influence the achievement of this automation rate objective. Especially, we see that this automation rate is super low compared to the industry benchmark. Actually, it's far below. We have only 28% automation rate, and we are actually at the bottom of our peer group. And we actually want to get to that top quartile. We want to have 70% plus automation. So what we will do now is to open dashboard, which depicts additional insights and the value which is actually hidden behind those insights. So that insight, as you can see here, is added as into our transformation initiatives. And when we open this initiative dashboard, we see a very clear picture. So we see all these challenges we've mentioned before, right? But they are not shown in terms of challenges, but shown in terms of value. And that's the key. This initiative in SAP Signavio really shows how the value looks like, an embedded value and an analysis that helps you really to estimate the total potential value of what you could achieve. So it lists the greatest value drivers in numbers or in money by indicator and value driver. So looking only at sourcing and procurement, we see 57 million euros, not dollars, of potential value, which a small portion only realized so far, as you can see. So with just one step, automating, for example, purchase requisition, we could unlock 11 million alone. So, and if we put that all together, we see the urgency and the impact that procurement productivity improvement would have, because it would show a substantial value of altogether 43 million euros. So now we will double click into the data to understand again a bit more the root causes. And interestingly, it turns out that actually only 8% of those purchase requisitions are actually initiated into SAP. That's not the picture we saw based on the to-be process model. So the reality is really only 8% is done inside SAP, despite that first overview. So outside of this, we see the rest of the processes is actually super scattered. Legacy systems, shadow IT tools, which all contributes to friction, to inefficiency, and poor data quality within your organization. And by the way, on that screen, you also see the different procurement process variants. So SAP only, you see the conformant processes with best practice, SAP best practices, and you also see the one across applications. That helps you really to understand where you are right now and how you can improve. And actually, as you can see, this poor execution is costing you money each and every day, and it's slowing down your transformation. So looking at what we see right now, our team, our business analysts really concludes that overlapping and maybe redundant, non-compliant applications are supporting the very same process, well, which may be the root cause for the inefficient procurement execution. So what we want to do right now is really to get a full view on the application supporting procurement. So we will move from SAP Signavio to LeanIX to access a bit more details there. You click on ACC to reach the portfolio view in SAP LeanIX. And here we have the application portfolio management picture, but I'll leave that to Matt to show us how this system analysis can be run and how the transformation will be further proceeded.
Yeah, thanks, Josèphe. So as we know, there is this ongoing cloud transformation in finance and HR to date, but procurement has not yet been touched. So I think now would be a good time to start. To accelerate, we launch our inventory builder in LeanIX. This is our AI-based capability to generate architecture inventories using unstructured documentation and data. So we upload what we have from past workshops, and in second, we generate a starting inventory with applications, inventory, interfaces, and business capabilities linked. Now, our enterprise architects can already begin their analysis with this inventory, exploring what fits, what overlaps, what adds value, and what doesn't. And then also, more importantly, as you can see in the interface circle on the top left, how everything is connected, from the IT components to the business capabilities. From this analysis, it's very clear to us that many of our existing tools need to go. They either have a really poor functional or technical fit, they rate low on our risk and risk and complexity matrix, and they're just not supporting our business as they need to. So what we see here already is that it's time to consolidate solutions around S/4HANA, Ariba, and Fieldglass. So with this, we move into our project roadmap view to visualize the plan. Coupa, Procurify, and other bespoke solutions will be retired based on our target state that we need to get to. And ECC will gradually be sunset. With this, we will use Ariba to anchor our new guided buying model. This entire roadmap and all associated initiatives are then synced to Cloud ALM. So this is where the execution happens, right? Plan in LeanIX, strategize, link to Cloud ALM to then go and execute. This will help us align timelines to scope items and team ownership to ensure that everyone from business and IT is working on a shared real-time source of truth. But understanding what to change is only half the equation. We also need to define how we want procurement to work going forward. So let's jump back into Signavio and ask our friend Jules once again. What sort of best practices might exist out there for cloud procurements already? So we don't want to start from scratch. We want to see what exists. What are those best practices, as I mentioned earlier, to help accelerate the design of our target state? And so within moments, Jules is surfacing these proven process models from SAP's best practice library. This gives us a foundation, but we know that actual day-to-day work looks very different. So how our people are working today is vastly different to where we need to get to with this best practice. And to understand what that looks like, we're going to use text to process, another AI capability within Signavio, to gather input from the various teams with plain language descriptions of how they actually work. This enables us to generate a process model using AI. From here, we can build a hybrid future state, combining automation, AI, and the human know-how of our organization. So taking that knowledge, what exists and what they have. Now, comparing the as-is and to-be states side by side, the difference is stark. We've eliminated the different redundancies. We've added predictive steps, and we've put automation where it matters most in the process. So we've infused that automation into the process. Once validated, we will then push this process to Cloud ALM. Again, we've done the design in Signavio, but let's make sure we're pushing that execution work towards Cloud ALM so that we can get that process implemented as designed. This turns it into an actionable implementation plan with the linked requirements and test cases so that we can test against those in solutions like Tricentis. But transformation does not just stop at defining the processes. To really land the change, our people need to be brought along the journey, and that's where WalkMe enters the picture. As users transition from their old ECC user interface to the Fiori of S/4HANA or Ariba or whatever they're now using in the new state, WalkMe is there to help them navigate the technology change effectively. From directly within the process view in Signavio, we can already see where this in-app guidance is going to be available to help users execute throughout the process. What it's doing here on screen now is guiding them through each step, guiding them through the new user interface and helping them embrace the technology change, offering smart contextual tips, and in some instances, as you saw, automating key tasks. But it also goes further than this, right? It's a new system, new solution, new application, new processes. It's not just about doing it a once-off, but enabling them continuously. So here we talk about embedding micro-learning moments into real-time tasks, helping to bridge that knowledge gap between knowing what you have learned in past courses or past training and applying it in real-time scenarios, right in the flow of work. So instead of relying on that long-forgotten training, this learning happens in the moments of need, contextually embedded where it matters most, right when they need it. So with this, you're not just moving into the cloud, you're building a business that's faster, smarter, and more resilient. So what you've just seen from end to end here is not just a one-time launch. This was one initiative in the scope of many. This is transformation as a capability. Now, back over to you, Josèphe.
Thanks so much, Matt, for this insightful demo. And I hope now everyone is really aware that SAP is really combining those market-leading solutions to support you in building a transformation capability for now, for success now, and also in the future. Well, in fact, few companies are operating this way nowadays. But if we look at the change that has been done by this company, so before, before they have built this transformation capability, and now after having built this transformation capability, so how does the new reality look like? Well, actually, they do not underestimate people, but people are really at the center of their transformation. They are really not a nice to have, but they are key to building that continuous transformations culture and mindset that is really critical to reach and to sustain that success. IT, well, is not the only one in the game, but also business needs to and will be and is aligned right now in that company around those common goals and a shared accountability for the transformation initiative. Well, and they are not looking at a uniform prioritization, but they have this visibility, the transparency, and the capacity actually to effectively prioritize the transformation efforts. They can measure the impact of the transformation initiatives regularly and use that to persuade and to discuss with the management. They are not overlooking the data. They are building on a foundation of high quality data. And for example, they have then the architecture to train their AI models that they will need and make sure that they are working the way they are intending to, right? And most importantly, instead of working in project silos, they have a repeatable capability now to navigate change together as one organization. So this is, well, precisely what SAP Business Transformation Solutions are uniquely built to help you to do, whether on SAP, non-SAP, or across landscapes. So I said again, all these tools that we've presented right now, so LeanIX, Signavio, WalkMe, they are all leading in their respective categories. But most importantly, actually, numerous organizations and customers really believe and understand now the power of business transformation as a capability, which is bridging from people, process, applications, and data. That one you should not forget. So you see this company realize a lot of value. So from $500 million dollars of value, 1.5 million return to the business, 25% reduction of application after a merger. But what I want to do right now is pick a concrete example for you. Let's pick BHP. So one of the world's leading natural resource company. They are producing essential commodities like iron, coal, copper, nickel. And actually, they were previously operating in kind of a traditional shared service model. So they had separate functions, separate shared service system with basic transactional process. So the result was a lack of visibility on the end-to-end process. They had an interface complexity. Well, inefficiency, of course, within the business, which was leading also to a lot of frustrations within the workforce. So BHP decided to transform this shared service model into a single global business service operating model. So really to shift the focus from specific line of business efficiency, but to an overall operational effectiveness at scale and end-to-end. And actually, just while doing that, BHP actually created this 500 million. So they brought the value just by breaking down the silos and transforming their business processes and operations. So now, of course, that's up to everyone, and you can still run your transformation project as one of initiatives, or you can decide to go the next step to belong to these future build companies and build a transformation capability. And actually, we're the only vendor that provides these best-in-class applications in an end-to-end integrated solution set that really allows you to action your strategy right away when the next change happens, and it will come. So no one else on the market is really able to offer this native contextual intelligence from your application and data through your processes and user adoption. So which means you would get all the information you need to make better choices, better decisions about and how to invest your transformation dollars the best. And last but not least, well, keep in mind, after 50 years plus of helping companies transform, SAP has developed industry benchmarks for KPIs, for processes, and we have a big community of experts to support you. So, well, actually, we know what good looks like, and we can give you a better starting point so you can get there faster. So in a nutshell, and to make sure really don't forget it, well, SAP business transformation solutions are a kind of a required tool, strategic asset, equipment for you if you are looking at building a transformation capability so that you can continuously navigate change, continuously succeed right now, but also in the future. And that was actually my closing words. So now we're going to spend some time on Q&A, and I'm going to hand over back to Tanya.
Great, thank you so much. And let me start with thanking you, both of you, so much for your excellent presentation. I really enjoyed listening to you. And transformation is a big topic also within the global user groups organizations. And we usually get two questions from everyone. And the first one is, which solutions do I start with in the business transformation management portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, I could take that. I could start, and maybe Josèphe, if you'd like to add some color, you can. I think the beauty with this portfolio is you can start depending on which angle you're coming in from. Meaning that you don't have to necessarily start with all three solutions at the same time. If you're coming from a business angle, you want to identify that value, see how things are working today and how they can work better going forward. That's where you can start with Signavio. You can immediately start mining your processes, seeing what is actually happening today. What is the reality happening today? Not just what is in people's heads or what is in old documents in old filing desks, in the back of the office, but how things are literally working today in your business. If you want to start on the IT side, you can look at your enterprise architecture. You can get a good visibility into how your IT landscape is supporting your business and organizational goals today. from a user adoption perspective, you can also look at how your people are working and their workflows. You can analyze their behavior, like you can see where the triggers are, where the poor user experiences is blocking processes, stopping them from doing what they need to do to achieve what they need to achieve. So that's the great thing. You can actually start either way. Of course, the ultimate is having the Trinity in place, but you can start anywhere and already grow and build from them.
Adding a bit of flavor, indeed, if you don't mind. Yeah, indeed, just to jump on what just said, Matt, it's really about bringing business and IT or IT and business together within that transformation initiative. So you can start on both sides. I think one additional comment on that one is really consider your transformation as an initiative. So that's where, for example, we can support with the transformation manager that helps you collect all the insights that you get from the different areas, from the mining, from the process intelligence, and also connects into the enterprise architecture, so you can really consider and look at that transformation initiative centrally, but also from a value-driven perspective.
Thank you so much. And actually, Matthew, could you perhaps stop sharing so all three of us are visible, and especially both of you?
Yeah, no problem.
Great.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Then the other question we often receive from the user group members is, can I use these solutions with non-SAP systems and processes?
Yeah, Josèphe, would you like to start, or
you can start?
Yeah, I think that's the other thing about both SAP Signavio, SAP LeanIX, and of course WalkMe. It's across SAP and non-SAP applications and processes and overall landscape. So we recognize that even organizations that are doing or undergoing their SAP Cloud ERP transformations, they have interconnected systems that are non-SAP. So with LeanIX, you get visibility across your SAP landscape and non-SAP landscape. Likewise, for Signavio, you have processes that touch applications that aren't always fully SAP. So with Signavio, you can mine processes across SAP and non-SAP systems. You can understand how their work is happening between them. And with WalkMe, you can literally build this guidance and automation on top of any web-based application. So whether it's SAP, whether it's your new cloud system, whether it's Salesforce, whether it's Workday, whether it's any solution, you can build that guidance and that workflow and contextual information and learning on top of that.
Great, thank you so much. And that's really important for our customers. I would like to ask also, so how can a customer use LeanIX to manage AI in their organization?
Yeah, thanks, Tanya. I think one of the big topics for us at LeanIX, especially looking at the last 2 years, has been the topic of AI governance and how organizations can better manage and control the proliferation of AI within the business. So with LeanIX, you can actually understand where AI is used in which application and what capability those applications are supporting, so that you can roll up from the component level what LLMs you're using, making sure that you've had them reviewed, right? You do your ethical AI assessments. You can conduct architecture review processes with your AI, making sure that it's everything that you have within your landscape from an AI perspective is captured and made visible and transparent, and not just for the enterprise architects, not just for IT, but for business users as well. So ensuring that they can understand what is available to use, and they have the confidence knowing that AI has been vetted. And I think more importantly, going forward, if we look at AI agents, a new layer of complexity to add to your enterprise architecture, we're going to be applying LeanIX in the same way. So something to look forward to and look out for towards that tech ed or towards our own Transformation Excellence Summit in The Hague. We'll have some announcements coming out around that.
Definitely, we'll be looking forward to that. And another important thing everyone wants to know, so which AI capabilities in Signavio can our customers use today?
Yeah, Thank you, Tanya. I'll pick that one. Well, actually, this is important to understand that Signavio is completely infused with SAP Business AI capabilities. And the idea between all these AI capabilities, I'm going to give you a few examples in a minute, is really to help you to get instant answers to any process questions that you may have. Also to help you to uncover hidden issues. As I mentioned before, this root cause analyzer is AI-based, and also to provide all those recommendations to the end user real quick. So we have a bunch of AI assisted capabilities right now. So we have a process recommender, we have a process analyzer. We can also build widgets with that, get some role-based process overviews for the end user so they really understand what's their role, what's their next step, how do they manage their daily process. Just to pick one specific example that I really like, and there is an AI assisted process modeler, which is called text to process. And in the end, it's really about creating based on AI, on really natural language. You're just typing in, okay, for the procurement, we are doing that step, and that step it is done by that department. And based on that, you just press the button, and then within seconds, you get a process model, which you can refine, but that saves you tons of time. So it's really about supporting our customers in improving actually during their process transformation initiatives, making that faster, and also making sure that all the end user, whether the modelers or the one that are looking at to consume the processes, are having an easy life and really instant insight, recommendation, and know how they should work. And to jump on what Matt just said, of course, AI agents on all sides, I would say it's a big topic, and we are also right now looking at AI agent governance, also from a process perspective, to make sure, well, you use agent, you may want to use agent, but you want to make sure that they are fitting within your operational model, that they are fitting within your operation, and that they are also acting the right way, that you keep being compliant and you just don't rely on it. So you would be able to mine the behavior of those AI agents to make sure that they are doing the right things. And also based on what they do, sometimes they have great ideas. You can leverage that and bring that back into the operations.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The next thing I would like to know more about, Matthew, you already mentioned it, but new things are coming up. So can you share maybe something a little bit more? What is the most exciting upcoming product that our customers can look forward to?
Yes, so for me, I would highlight three things very quickly, and then I'll hand over to Josèphe on the Signavio side. So for LeanIX, the AI Agent Hub, so this is what we'll be bringing to Tech Ed and showcasing more. It's actually when the GA of this is going to happen. How can we enable organizations to manage, control, and maximize where and how they use AI agents in context of the enterprise architecture? I think that's going to be really important, right? Placing AI agents in context of their enterprise architecture, and that's what we'll be doing with the AI Agent Hub. Second topic is how we're evolving target architecture planning within LeanIX, starting with a visual first approach. So starting with a diagram, designing a target architecture from that diagram, taking that diagram and enriching your decisions. So providing context into your decision so that everybody understands and has the full context they need when we're speaking about our target state decisions. And then moving that plan into a roadmap. So we're going all the way from design to plan to execution with this new approach, putting visual at the forefront. And then lastly, we are also releasing an MCP server, so enabling a lot easier access to LeanIX data by AI agents, but only the data that you allow those agents to act on and get insights from within LeanIX. So it's providing that EA enrichment to your agents that you're using in your organization today. Josèphe, over to you.
Yeah. We also have a lot around the next release, which is, by the way, I just want to do a bit of promotion for us. It's the release webcast is going to take place on October 13th. So if you have interest and you haven't registered already, this is your chance. So, but of course, AI, big topic for us too, as I mentioned already. So we are going to release also a lot of a lot of capabilities around AI agent excellence. So it's going to be around an agent discovery, around agent mining, governance. So we're going to look also at maximizing well, the administrative task within our transformation process transformation project. We will get some recommendation agents that will help manage processes also the best way. And we're going to also launch a dual GA from our perspective. Also, I mentioned that at the beginning of the demo, the transformation advisor. So this AI-assisted transformation advisor is going to be available, and you'll also be able to link that with the initiatives which help you really connect the dots. Yeah? So third, a bit more technical, but we will have a support for the data sphere replications flow. So we will be able to really support the mass data replications from ERP systems. We have around process analyzer, a text to signal widget, and also in some specific area, the very famous signature mining visualization, which is the spaghetti diagram, as it's called, is going to be available. So I think it's for the main technical implementation. What you should also keep in mind is that we're going to have some additional value accelerators around, well, your main use cases, for example, finance, procurement, so really to help to jumpstart those initiatives. And last but not least, there's going to be an action interface around when you create an issue in Jira, so a Jira issue creation interface. I think that's for the highlights, and I said October 13th.
Great, thank you so much. Sorry, thank you so much. Definitely a lot to look forward to. There is a question in the chat. How does SAP tackle challenges related to customer maturity and capacity in an environment where executives and decision makers often resist significant change and transformations?
I think that's definitely one around value and being able to prove the value of transformation, right, Josèphe? And I think it's probably something that we touched on a bit in our demo. So bringing the value case and putting that forward for executives. I know even from an enterprise architecture perspective, we've had customers share how when you're able to prove the outcome of what that transformation is going to achieve, that is when you get the buy-in. And when you're able to show iterative progress against that outcome continuously through the transformation, that's when you maintain your buy-in. So it's not just showing up front where the value is and what the outcome would be once you go through this process. That is, of course, painful to a lot of executives as well. But it's also maintaining that visibility and showcasing that progress step by step. I don't know if Josèphe, you want to go in a bit more on the value topic.
Exactly, yeah. I want to go more on the value topic, especially within that transformation manager that I mentioned before. So as you just said, Matt, actually the solution helps you really measure the value at the beginning, measure the potential value, but also look at it on a continuous perspective. If you remember that picture where you had some proposals, okay, if you improve your productivity within procurement, you're going to get that value. Next to that one, you have not only the potential value, but you have the realized value throughout that initiative. And that's actually where it helps you take really from the strategy, that's our goal, that's what we want to achieve, into the operations, into the value, into the execution. So make sure you are monitoring, as you just said, Matt, on a day-to-day basis. Okay, how are we progressing on our value generation? But also really leveraging those insights to show the value of the project, of the transformation towards the organization, towards the management, so you can proceed. And as we see, that was also one of the figures on the slides, the value that you can deliver back to the business is the value that you can, in the end, reinvest into your transformation initiatives. So really around strategy to value within the transformation manager, there is a tremendous support that helps you manage that from top to down.
Great, thank you so much. We don't have any new questions in the chat. I would like to offer our attendees or anyone listening to this video afterwards If you have any questions, just post them in the comments area underneath this video. We will look at them and have them answered. So if there are no few questions, I would like again thank our experts for today very much for your excellent presentation and answering all the questions. And of course, last but not least, our attendees for joining. I hope you got a lot of value from this session, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next session coming up. And with this, I wish you all a great day, a great evening, depending on where you are.